All right, will the real Bill DeBlasio please stand up? A little bit of a confusion. The Times of London printing a story about former New York Mayor Bill DeBlasio, who you see here, and the quote was critical of Mamdani. The only problem, it wasn't Mayor de Blasio. Now, the real de Blasio was so upset. He said, the story is entirely false and fabricated. I just brought to my attention. I'm appalled. I never spoke to that reporter or never said those things. He said those quotes were inaccurate. And it's true. It wasn't him. He demanded the Times pull down the story. He's been supportive of Mamdani, and the quote was not. And even the New York Times picking up this piece, saying there was a de Blasio impersonator tricking a British newspaper, fake criticism of Mamdani. So egg on the face for that reporter, Bevan Hurley. But a little bit of fun with the person who is Bill de Blasio, saying, I've always been Bill de Blasio. So he joins us right now to talk about the story behind the story. Bill, welcome in. I know you're on vacation down in the Florida Keys. Good for you, but you're a Long Island guy. Your name is Bill de Blasio, and I guess you're a wine importer and sometimes a political pundit. How'd this happen?
Yeah, the actual story was the reporter Bevan reached out to me via email, and I have a generic email address, and with Gmail they kind of, if there's no periods or dots inside, they send it to you anyway. And he just asked for my comments. And the funny thing is he didn't address me as Mayor de Blasio. He addressed me as Mr. de Blasio. Mm-hmm. I am Mr. Bill de Blasio. And he sent me an email asking my opinion on, on Mamdani's proposed, ideas and what he wanted to do with New York City. So I put this on Facebook last Friday when he reached out to me, and I sent it to all my friends. I said, oh my God, how do I respond to this guy? Because this happens all the time. And I never thought it would ever get past the screeners or to the final thing.
And when it did, were you shocked?
Yeah. Well, we kind of did it. Me and one of my buddies, we threw all my ideas into a chat GPT, and it came out looking, like a coherent statement. And we sent it back to him, and the reporter replied to me, and he was very professional, very polite. And he asked if he could use paragraphs 2 and 3 of my comments about, what I thought.
Yeah, and he did.
I said, absolutely. Now, meanwhile, I've said somebody at some point, some screener's got to catch this. They have to, they have to be able to figure out that it's just.
Well, no, it made it to print.
And I specifically didn't do an interview. Yeah, so right. I didn't do an interview because, obviously if I did a face-to-face or I spoke to him on the phone, they'd know it wasn't me.
Right.
So
well, to your point too, you said you didn't, you did say Bill de Blasio. He didn't call you mayor. You did meet the real Mayor de Blasio at one point. We're showing pictures of you at a game.
I did.
You haven't heard from the mayor, right? He's not calling you to
I've not heard from the mayor. I've also not heard from the London Times reporter. I actually feel bad. I hope I didn't cost anybody their job. I never thought it would get, it would go this far. Well, whatever. So he asked my permission to use my quotes, and I said yes.
All right. In hindsight, would you have done anything different, Bill de Blasio? Maybe this is really good publicity for you. I know you're in the wine business, so maybe this is sort of your 15 minutes. It has started.
Yeah, pretty funny. I mean, it's been going on for me for a long time since de Blasio took office, and it's actually been brutal. I get absolute nasty, horrible people that just say the worst, meanest things to me, thinking I'm the mayor, as if the mayor would answer them through Facebook Messenger or through email. And it's been going on for a while. So I reply just about the same way. I reply, I answer their questions. And this guy, he said, I even put in, you can check with my advisors if you have one further comment. And I listed a couple of my friends' names. So I'm sure he's going to look up my friends and see this is total.
Nope, didn't do it. Next time he will. Fool me once. I do want to note, though, because I have a De La Garza, and my D is small, and your D is capital, unlike the mayor. Right. So that is one difference there. In an email, you probably wouldn't know, but you've noted that before. So you do spell it a little different.
I spelled my name properly, and when I replied to him, in other words, I signed the emails, regards, Bill de Blasio, I spelled it properly. Nobody picked up on that. My uncle, who since passed away, Uncle Ed used to say, the lower class Italians use the small d, you use the capital D all the time. So I'm like, okay. So we've been, we've been doing that. And I don't know if what it means doesn't mean, if it's a bunch of,
Well, you had a little fun with the reporter. He's probably not laughing, and I know you just apologized. So we'll see if there is some more reporting on the way here. Bill de Blasio, it is good to see you. Thanks for the story behind the story.